Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Tuesday night StudentLoanJustice.org live stream. I'm Ed McKinley, and I'm from Boston area, and this music is way over the top, don't you think? But I like it, and I just thought it would be a nice way to set the mood, because tonight I'm going to talk about good things. I'm going to talk about positive things that have been happening because of the actions that people out there have been engaging in. And I'm going to talk about them a little bit, and I'm going to be short, sweet, to the point. Thank you. Let's say thank you to whoever the orchestra was. I was going to start doing this whole thing. Don't act like if you're watching this live or afterwards the recording, if you've never sat at home when there was some kind of classical music playing and not done something like this, please. Okay, so this is the StudentLoanJustice.org live stream for Tuesday night, September 22nd, 2020. And as I said earlier, I'm Ed McKinley, and I'm just another guy here because I got really royally fucked on my student loans. And after having exhausted every other possible means I could think of that I'm okay with, that are at least morally, ethically, and legally sound, have come to the point that where we are now, here with student loan justice, I'm telling you right now, or whatever you may think, we are the only true grassroots organization or citizen group fighting for the return of bankruptcy protections and other standard consumer protections. And currently, in view of another crisis affecting all of us in some very profound ways, pushing for the use of executive privilege or executive power through the office of the president, whether that be the current president or in the event that we should change presidents after this election cycle. I don't have a prediction on that, and I'm not intending to make one. We have to make it abundantly clear that during a hotly and very passionately fought battle for this year's presidential elections, that we are a factor. We are players, and we are in numbers, and we have been sufficiently damaged to provide the passion and the ability to make a difference in a presidential election. And I am very aware of exactly how bold of a statement that is. But that statement is nowhere near as outlandish as it usually sounds to other people when I explain to them situations and how they were allowed to arrive to people who are not feeling the pain that everyone who is likely to be watching this video is. The pain that every one of the 15 to 16,000 current members on our Facebook page are. And more importantly, the remaining 45 million or more who are significantly struggling with student loan debt, which has been dramatically compounded based on, like I said earlier, another very serious situation that has come upon this country. So we have shown in the last couple of months, through, or a little more than that probably, through just sheer determination. Hi, Alan. I hope you have a hall pass. We have shown through sheer will and determination and refusal to quit just a taste of the power that we the people, we the borrowers, have in this issue. And, one thing that I feel particularly proud about is not giving up and not relenting, even when the light started to look dim, on the petition that we have been circulating uh, to entice, or really to demand, the termination of current student loan debts owned or backed by the federal government through the executive order of the president. And I got to tell you something, folks. When you're looking at numbers that go 40, 50 million people who are affected, and you don't think that the powers who vie for the control of the White House are not aware of us, you are very, very mistaken. Thank God you're mistaken. Do they pay us as much lip service as we'd like? Of course not. Do you know why? Well, I'll tell you why I think. Because we're not loud enough yet. But since we have begun this petition with from the first signature up to over 600,000 signatures now, and through just relentlessly encouraging and pushing and whatever else we were able to do to get as many people as possible to become active participants in doing what we can't do financially, which is sharing this petition, the link to this petition, which my assistant Alan Collins has so gracefully posted on the wherever you guys see the message board while I'm doing the talking thing here. Very professional operation. So what has happened? I mean, have we won? Is the battle done? Is the war over? Well, absolutely not. But we're in one, and the enemy has recognized our presence. And how do I know that? Well, when I begin to see these requests by people to, often in many areas, local and in some national news media, written media, video media, internet media, which are beginning to choose to make the story with our assistance and based on the power of our 600,000 signature petition. And this is really, really, really good news. This is exactly what we were going for. Now, what's another sign? Well, recently there's been a considerable uptick on the Democrat side. Elizabeth Warren and Chuck Schumer imploring the president to cancel by executive order a significant amount of student loan debt. Now, there are a few things that are extremely important about this that we like, and one probably in particular, maybe a few more that we don't like. But the fact that United States senators, well-known players in the Senate, are currently acknowledging what we have been saying as loud as we can for quite some time. And don't forget, whether you like Liz Warren, you don't like Liz Warren, I don't care. She is a constitutional attorney in this area who probably is amongst the most knowledgeable attorneys and experts in this area. And if these folks have now come to the conclusion and agreed with us that yes, the president does in fact have the power to do this, I'll put some money on it. I've been putting money on it anyways. This is something we already believe to be true. But if there's anyone out there that needs further convincing, this is powerful. This is something that really is strongly in favor for us. Now, that they have pulled up short on the by saying, hey, $50,000 up to $50,000 with yet to be determined conditions is incredibly unsatisfactory. So we're not going out and swinging from ropes on the ceiling and laughing and jumping up and down like Daffy Duck about that part of this plan. But we would be positively foolish not to think that we have in no way influenced this sudden recurrent resurgence by these Democrats to pay attention not only to the student debt, not just canceling it with a cockamamie scheme where you go to the Congress and you go to, well, we want to cancel $1.5 trillion worth of student loan debt, so we need you guys to tax some people for that much money so we can. That's such incredible headache causing, it like migraine, like, nauseous migraine, bullshit reasoning. This will not cost the taxpayers one more dime out of their pockets at the point at which this lending system now finds itself, which is pretty darn near without a pulse. It is by far the least expensive way to, for the government to remove itself from the cost of an incredible injustice and mistake. So we like to get some reassurance, whatever it is. We like some encouragement. We like some reinforcement in our ideas. So we're very happy and almost jumping up and down like Daffy Duck when we see prominent senators, sitting senators, come out publicly and loud, concurring with what we have already said. The president can, in fact, by a signature, eliminate federal student loan debt. And we are pushing this agenda, and we are amongst the few who are. There is tremendous fear, political fear, in the potential power that we yield as a socioeconomic demographic, that we are powerful enough. And I'm not talking about, National Rifle Association power, which is incredibly formidable. I'm talking beyond that. I'm a little crazy, but I'm not completely insane. And I'll back that statement up against anybody. So what's the point? Well, the point is that what we're doing is working, and it would work better if there were more of us doing it. So those of you who are out there that are in the group and maybe you read some of the postings, or you're just kind of here as a spectator to see if somebody else has gotten up today and gone out to do the work to help you with your student loan problem. Come on in. The WAD is great. I know there's a lot of different thoughts that go through a lot of people's heads about the idea of the exposure that they may incur by coming out of the closet with their student loan debt. I can only tell you this. The harm that has incurred upon you for not coming out of the closet and boldly facing this debt is the enemy that is keeping you absolutely chained financially. So that's the choice you have. Stay in the dung heap that you're in now, or come on out and enough of us decide to raise our voices and our fists hard enough and loud enough. We can't lose this fight. It's not even possible. It's not even an option. We have the petition that we want very much so to get up over 1 million signatures. If you've seen, the evidence that we see of the value that the over 500,000 to 600,000 signatures has done, 1 million is much more powerful. It just gives us more leverage. I promised you this when I was beating this drum a month ago, that if we could get up over $500,000, we would start to use that to leverage more media, more attention, and flex a little more political muscle. Folks, you are so much more powerful than you appear to believe you are. When you say we, as in, we're not talking about Republicans, Democrats, conservatives, liberals, astronauts, or vegetarians. We're talking about everyday, hardworking, mostly blue-collar, middle class, and many who came from very, very little means, who are buried up way over their heads in predatory, corrupt debt. And the only person left to speak up for us is us. The only person who is left to speak up for you is you. So come on in. To those of you who have helped to make this happen, I am eternally grateful. For those of you who are still sitting out there, you're thinking, I don't know, what if something uncomfortable happens? Really? You're not uncomfortable now? Because I am. And I think my circumstances aren't even quite as bad as some of you who are watching. I'm not asking anybody to do anything more than they're capable of doing. But let's face it, folks, the vast majority of what we ask people to do, a chipmunk could do. A chipmunk couldn't really do it. I mean, it'd be fun if you could get one that could do it, or if you could train one to do it. I'd train like 100,000 of them and get them all computers and have them all just constantly driving politicians and stuff nuts. Like one day I'd have them all just call up Nancy DeVos repeatedly for like a month, and just not even say anything. So I digress. Please post the URL to the petition anywhere that you can post the URL that a human being might see it. Because I've said it before, mathematically, in this country, the chances are, if you randomly pick 5 people out of 40, 3 of them are going to have student loan debt. You can check the math on that. I didn't, but it's something like that. I think you get my point. So it's not hard. What I like to do, I have different. I don't even keep track. Sometimes I probably ought to. I should probably keep a log. But a lot of the ones I post are on Facebook, and I'll be honest with you, particularly in many that require an administrator to approve a post. When they see what it is, they do. And you can go back in a few days oftentimes and repost, because everyone knows that it's like a reel, a movie reel. The new posts don't stay near the top for more than a day or two, or even less, depending on the traffic. So people have put stuff out in a lot of places where it has clearly worked, because 600,000 is a lot. And I don't have a problem with encouraging people, if you posted in the past at various places, go back and do it again. Don't rack your brains looking for new places. The places you're posting them are working. But you're not going to get all the fish coming down the river at the same spot with one net. There's, fish are constantly coming through. It's kind of like that. Sort of like that. I watch a lot of Discovery Channel, so I'm pretty knowledgeable about fish. True story. So look, that's my message. It's always my message right now until we change to another thing. Send the URL with story requests to any media of your choice. Sometimes I can't list emails and contact information for every hard copy, online media, visual media, audio media. And when I do it, what I do is I dig a little bit. It's that simple, So if you want to ask if you live outside of, Little Rock, Arkansas, and that's not a market that's as big as, say, New York City or anything, but they have newspapers that are often looking for stories like this. Send a request to the editor. And send a URL to the petition so they can see that we're not full of crap. We've got the petition on change.org. We're cranking it out. People are jumping on this thing like you can't believe. I'm starting to sound like Donald Trump. I gotta go lay down. I don't know what else I could possibly say to convince you that could stop you. I don't know what I could say after what I've just said that could make you not start sending out requests. And don't worry if you get a call, a contact from any media outlet, and you don't feel that you are up to speed or have the comfort level to do a story, I'll do it. Alan will do it. Alan's available for these things quite often and does a lot of them. And frankly, he's really, really good at it. And you've seen some of the articles he's done, either live interview or in print. The guy gets the message across, and you have access to him. This isn't like, we're not U2 and he's Bono or something. It's a lot like that, but you probably would have a hard time getting Bono to do an interview for you. But Alan Collins will, and he is the Bono of the student loan world. Wow, that's amazing. So I'm wrapping it up. I'm keeping it pretty close to 20 minutes. You got to give me a little bit of credit. And the media requests. Also, on the Facebook page today, there is a link to the White House. I almost forgot this. Really important because it's a today thing. Okay, so we could have 10 people send the requested information to the White House email account and not be noticed at all. Or we could send 100 and people go, they're not really that serious. Or we could send 10,000 and you have no idea. It would blow the tops of people's heads off at the White House if they got 10,000. And we should be doing millions, but even 10,000, they don't get 10,000 about much of anything, particularly right now at the fight about the Supreme Court. So suddenly they're getting everybody's going nuts, sending emails about the Supreme Court. I know it's an important issue to a lot of people. But you cannot help but get people's attention when mixed in with that are thousands of people showing, demanding that you respect their rights and restore their financial futures. And if you do, you'll be rewarded at the polls. If you don't, you will not. That's my message for tonight. I'm Ed McKinley. I live up here near Boston in Massachusetts, and I'm just another bozo on the bus here. Anybody else out there can be doing what I'm doing here now. You just simply have to dig in and make a decision that this matters, not just for you, but for many of you right now, it matters for your children, and for some of you, it matters for their children too. I mean, in the present moment. So everybody, with all the other things that are going on out there, I really cannot tell you how much I hope that all of you are, getting through this with everything that was already on your backs financially with this issue, and whatever uncertainty the present situation in this country is bringing towards people. I hope and I pray that everyone's out there is okay. There are many things out there we can't control. We can control this. Let's get this monkey off our backs. Good night.